Hi, my name is Krysten, and I'm a second year on SB3 campus team. Before I get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Pickerington, Ohio, which is about a half hour east of Columbus, and my entire high school career, I told people I'd never come to OSU, but here I am. I was raised by a loving family, but unfortunately one who didn't really know God, or at least not know Him intimately. But fortunately, I came crashing into his arms at the beginning of my sophomore year after my boyfriend begged me to start coming to church, and I met an amazing couple who slowly and lovingly broke down all my preconceptions I had about Christians and introduced me to the loving God I now call my Father. But this morning, I don't want to tell you about my relationship with God during high school. I want to tell you about my relationship with Him during college. So, when I came to OSU last year, I was very excited about getting plugged in and finding a church community at OSU. And I had two really close friends who were also interested in finding a church home. So after seeing the chalk outside my dorm, we decided to come to H2O, which would have been great, except that we went to the service at the building instead of the one at Hitchcock, so we were surrounded by graduate students and not undergrads. But nonetheless, everyone was very nice, and I felt God telling me that this is where I needed to be. So I got plugged into a team, and I met some really incredible people. But unfortunately, my friends seemed to turn away from the Lord and become less and less excited about Him. I loved H2O, but I was also really confused at the time. The first semester of my freshman year, I didn't quite know who I was, and I was watching the people in my life that I really loved go down very different paths than I ever thought they would. Um, yeah, I was very conflicted over who I was and what I wanted to be, and I began to also kind of stray away from God and venture further and further into my anxieties. I was so frustrated in being in a season where I didn't know anything, and I was upset with God that He would allow me to feel this way. But after many conversations and tears and reflecting on the decisions that I've made, I began to realize the importance in trusting in God and truly believing that He had a plan for me, even if I didn't know what that plan was. And with that, the second semester of my freshman year was much greater than the first. I was in a better place with my relationship with God, and I got to go on a trip to Cocoa Beach with some amazing people, and I even got to see God transform the life of one of the girls that was on that trip with me. But coming home from the trip, everything changed. I don't know why God does the things that He does, but I know they happen for a reason. So, the next season of my life was marked by this reoccurring trend of never knowing what was going to happen. I didn't know what my major was. I didn't know how fall semester would turn out. I didn't know where I was going to live, and I didn't even know if the world was going to exist in August. Every step forward was accompanied by 10 feet of further distance, and I found myself crying out to God, asking Him why. At the beginning of 2020, I had felt really called to start recording my prayers in a journal every night before I went to sleep. And one night at the end of May, when I was full of frustrations and anxiety, I decided to go through my journal and through some of the prayers. And to tell you that I was blown away is an understatement. God had been so faithful and not only answered my prayers, but exceeded all of the expectations I had for Him. And He would only continue to do so in the fall. So, coming into this last semester, I had a new major and I was living from home. I didn't think that I would have as much of a great experience as I did. God has done so many amazing things. I got to meet a bunch of incredible people this semester and make some truly lifelong friendships. I was able to grow in my faith in so many ways, and I even got to lead a small group alongside a great friend who I didn't even know in July. I was able to grow in my confidence for the Lord and stand firm in my faith, despite the world telling me a completely different way to live my life. I was also able to deepen my desire to tell other people about this miraculous and crazy guy named Jesus who loves us so much that He died for us. The semester definitely wasn't perfect, but God is perfect, and He is still moving despite every horrible thing that has happened in 2020. Throughout this year, God has been telling me to trust in Him and then gently reminding me when I forget. I don't really know what next semester is going to look like, or next summer, or even next year, But that's okay because I know that God knows, and I know that He's going to do something incredible because He was able to use the season that we're in right now. Yeah, that's a slice of my life. Thanks for listening.